Good afternoon and welcome to the University of Louisville campus here in Louisville, Kentucky on the U of L Lacrosse Stadium. I'm Jody Dimling here. Haley Minogue joining me. We've got a battle, ACC battle here, the number one team in the country. Syracuse visiting Louisville. And Haley, I thought we just did this.
I
The second
know.
number one team in a row to visit the University of Louisville.
Feels like Louisville can't just catch a break at home. But, hey, that's the way lacrosse plays. That's the way that this schedule plays out. And that's the way the ACC is stacked.
Kayla Trainer's Syracuse team is undefeated this season as they're doing the anthem right now. And the Syracuse team undefeated this season, her second season. They're 10-0. They're 7-0 at home, 3-0 on the road. And they're in the middle of a stretch of 4 games in a short period of time. But Haley, when you look at Syracuse and you look at this team and you look at this roster, they have a lot of firepower on the offensive side.
They've got a ton of impressive statistics offensively. They're a high-scoring team. They capitalize, and watching the warm-ups, we were very aware that they've got a lot of power behind those shots. There are, of course, plenty of assists to be had on the team, but even just the straight shots look really good. So Louisville's going to have to play a really solid game defensively if they want to hang around in this one. And their offense is going to have to capitalize, too. A lot of the things that we've talked about, they're going to have to crush.
Syracuse leads the ACC in like 7 different categories offensively. Their goals per game at 16.33, ground balls per game at 16.91, points per game at 26, and assists. They lead the nation in assists at 9.8. For this Louisville team, they're coming off of a tough weekend last weekend to where they lost to then number 1 North Carolina, then went on the road and lost to Marquette. What does Louisville have to do to kind of stay in this one? We've seen them stay in games until halftime, and it's been the third quarter that's been kind of their bugaboo.
Yeah, I think that what we're going to really need to see here from the Cards to hang around in this game is capitalizing on the offensive opportunities. The goals are going to get through on both ends, right? Teams are going to score. That's just the way it works. But when Louisville has the ball and has the ability to shoot, they're going to have to score. Number 2 that I really want to see played from this team is a better midfield game. They're going to have to do a really good job of trying to slow down Syracuse as they're marching down with the ball in the midfield. So that's going to take a lot of defense by the attacks and midfielders that normally hold back behind that restraining line. They're going to have to really turn up the pressure in the midfield and make it a lot more difficult for Syracuse to be able to get back and set up those opportunities. Defense starts as soon as the turnover happens, and when Louisville doesn't play a game that way, that's when we see these other teams run up these huge scores on them.
They have struggled in the third period in each of their last few games, and again, we'll continue to try to get the offense going early and maybe try to have a lead. They've actually either trailed or been just ahead going in at half the last couple of games, and then the third quarter is when things got kind of out of control.
Yeah.
With this Louisville team today, though, and with this Syracuse team being here, this is the third top 5 team in the last 4 games that Louisville has faced. They played at number 5 Boston College. They played number 1 North Carolina here when they were ranked number 1. North Carolina then got beat by Northwestern, and Syracuse took over the top spot, and now they've got the orange here today. It's mind-boggling. It really is.
It's grueling. It's a really grueling schedule. If nothing else, hopefully Louisville is learning a lot of lessons from the gameplay. Sometimes the best lessons you learn come when there's a loss. So hopefully Louisville is getting those lessons and they're rolling them up. Now, something today that is going to be really interesting to me that I want to see if it affects at all is the wind. We're having really a ton of wind here in Metro Louisville today. A lot of really strong, gusty wind. It's a beautiful day other than the wind, so hopefully the wind doesn't cause too many issues out there on the field. But other than that, great day here for some lacrosse in downtown Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, it's been a kind of a crazy weather week. We've had so much rain in the last about 48 hours. Over 3 or 4 inches of rain in different parts of the area. The surface is great here today. The sun is shining, and it's so windy that it's dried out the surface. I mean, it wouldn't be this. It's an artificial surface anyway. It wouldn't be nasty, but it would be a little slick normally, I think, after the rain that we've had. But with this wind today, it's not. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the wind does affect things here this afternoon as we get ready for this one. Louisville in all white and Syracuse in their blue with the orange on the shoulders and the numbers as we get ready to go here. And it will be a big the first period here. When you look at the numbers first period-wise, Louisville's outscored opponents 32-19 this year. But on the flip side of things, Syracuse has 49 first period goals this season, outscoring teams 49-22. They go at it. They get out in a hurry, and they just continue to build their leads. This first quarter, to me, is kind of the key.
Absolutely, and I think that if nothing else, we're going to see some world-class lacrosse here today. We've been very fortunate to have front row seats to a lot of the really good games here this season. I feel like this is going to be another one of them. You can tell just by looking at the uniforms. Look how the wind is really affecting the players out there. Look at their shirts. They're billowing in the wind. This could become an issue, I think, mainly right now when we're doing face-offs, and maybe if there's long pass in the midfield. But hopefully these passes will be crisp on each sides, and that'll kind of negate the need for any kind of wind.
Maddy McKee for Louisville. Sorry about that. Olivia Adamson for Syracuse as they get McKee. We're underway here in Louisville. And Katie Goodell gets from Louisville for Syracuse, and the orange with it here early on, Haley. And this is an offense that is just loaded with weapons. They have a fearsome foursome, let's call it, where they have combined for 104 goals and 177 points, just 4 of them.
Very impressive to see the statistics that this team is putting up, and just the goal scoring out of those 4, like you said, it's just really impressive.
Natalie Smith with it there. Louisville with a good defense so far here for the Cards, as each team kind of like feeling each other out a little bit here, just trying to see what is there. And there is a goal right there from one of those on the fearsome foursome. Meaghan Tyrrell, her 25th goal of the season. And it was a quick win here, just under a minute, and Syracuse on the board.
Beautiful bounce shot right there on the left side of the goal. Nice and low there, right out of reach of Sarah Adesh. Just a gorgeous goal there. They were moving the opportunity. You can see Louisville is playing that man-to-man defense early on, and her mark just got beat on that. So, I mean, it was a beautiful goal.
Meaghan Tyrrell with the first goal, assisted by her sister, Meaghan Tyrrell. And, Emma's one of those with all those goals. She has 25 now, and that is now second on this team. And you say, well, 25 is a lot. Well, Megan Carney has 40.
Jeez, 40 goals. That's just impressive. Such an amazing number to have early on.
All right, let's see what Syracuse and Louisville can do here. Maddy McKee gets the win there on that one as the Cards come away with it. And Maddy McKee, that's what you've got to do there, Haley. They've got to win it at that point.
Yeah, they really need to make sure these draw controls, if nothing else, stay close to 50-50 here in the midsection, right? Like we saw them struggle so much against UNC with those draw controls. UNC just beating them over and over and over and over and over. So we need to see if we can find more of a 50-50 ground there.
And for Louisville on the offensive end, Nicole Peroni will be the main weapon for the Cardinals, as she has it right there. She has been the star for this team, and there is a shot from Peroni that is saved by Delaney Schweitzer, the 2-time reigning ACC Defensive Player of the Week. And here comes Syracuse, a great clear down the field, and they get it right down, and a goal right away. That one from Meaghan Tyrrell.
Now, we talked about this not even 2 minutes ago. There has got to be more game in the mid portions of the field. There's got to be more defense. We saw right there, Syracuse was connecting. Beautiful job by the Orange right there, getting to the other side of the field, making those goals. But this score will get out of hand quickly, if there can't be more defense in the midfield.
Yeah, Meaghan Tyrrell with that goal there, the assist by Sierra Cockrell. For Meaghan Tyrrell, that is her 25th goal, and so already here less than just a couple minutes in, and Meaghan Tyrrell with a goal and an assist. It's 2-0 Syracuse.
I wonder if the sisters are going back and forth on points, if they talk about it off the field, if they're saying, well, I've got more points than you do this season. They're close. They're not far apart from each other.
No, now it's 53 to a little bit far. They're close on goals.
Close on goals.
They're close on goals. See again here as is covered by Katie Goodall. That's her second ground ball here early on, and here they come. Syracuse again. This offense just attack mode.
They are a speedy team. I'm really impressed so far with their speed, with their agility, and with their passing. I mean, they are connecting, and also their passing is very intentional. There's not a lot of lob in their passes. They are dart passes, and it's really impressive to watch.
The first two goals didn't take much time off of the shot clock either. Just 2 shots and 2 goals for Syracuse so far. Undefeated #1 team in the country. Tyrrell with it. It is a Syracuse offense that has so many weapons. There's a shot there. Emma Ward, that is wide. Syracuse with the possession still. 30 seconds left, 25 seconds on the shot clock. And Haley, they've got so many weapons, it's hard to figure out who do you kind of stop.
I know, and they have a lot of different shooting abilities, too. It's not only, their ability to roll from behind the crease, their ability to shoot from the 8, the ability to shoot past the 8. I mean, they've got a lot of talent on this team and a lot of different plays that they can take advantage of.
There's Sarah Desch came up with that one, but a turnover from Louisville there, and Meaghan Carney with it, and here she comes. Carney, their leading goal scorer. She gives it to Emma Tyrrell. Emma Tyrrell, 24. Meaghan Tyrrell, 18. The sisters.
Louisville's going to have to do a better job of finding their mark quicker. There was a little bit of a miscommunication, it looked like, among the defense. It took them a couple of minutes to find their marks, which was fine because Syracuse is settling it down. But if Syracuse did not take that opportunity to settle down, there was definitely some confusion among the Louisville defense on who had who. So that was an opportunity missed by Syracuse.
And the other thing, Louisville with a turnover there. You can't do that against a team like this.
No.
Emma Tyrrell, the shot is hit. I think Desch got a little piece of that there.
Yeah, Louisville will come up with it. They were closest to.
Desch with it. Ryan Atkins with it. Emma Ward with that shot as she missed the 4th shot. As the Cards try to get something going here on offense. There's another turnover.
Not a great pass there by the Cards.
Meaghan Tyrrell with it. She's got 2 Cardinal defenders coming. Gives it to her sister, and a goal there for Emma Tyrrell. And the sisters from Mount Sinai, New York, so far, wow, it's been impressive.
The connection there was just insane. You can definitely tell they've been playing together for much longer than just the time they've spent here on the Syracuse team. The connection, unspoken. She just knew she was going to be there. It was really impressive to watch that little connection there.
3-0 here. Syracuse less than 5 minutes in. The pass was more the goal was impressive. Okay, all goals are impressive.
It's
the pass was so impressive right there. I don't know how she got that pass off at that short amount of time with the Louisville defenders coming at her.
It's been really impressive to watch the Syracuse team so more. I mean, they are reading every single thing that Louisville is doing like it is an open book. She was there. She knew that pass was going to be a lob and intercepted it perfectly, and then just marched down the field with it. Their offense has been super impressive. Their passing ability, their ability to connect on those passes is just phenomenal.
Louisville comes up with it, so the draw control there to Peroni. Louisville with a chance on offense here. See if they can connect and cash in this time. Louisville has had 1 shot from Nicole Peroni. It was saved by Delaney Schweitzer. Again, Delaney Schweitzer, the senior goalkeeper from Hatfield, Pennsylvania. Louisville with the turnover again there for the Cards, and you can't continue to do that. And here comes Syracuse again.
Gosh, the speed is just amazing. They're pushing it. They have the ability to get those numbers. She's going to grab a hash right here, and I guarantee you that is a shooting hash. She's going to take the shot off of that.
I think it was on Marley Scott there from Louisville.
Looks like Coco Vandiver with the shot.
It is Tyrrell. And back to her sister again. That is like the quickest hat trick you can ever see. 5.5 minutes in, and Emma Tyrrell already with 3.
This game could get out of hand really quickly if Syracuse keeps playing the game they're playing so far. Very impressive game.
So that is the 30th assist for Meaghan Tyrrell this season. The third of the game already. She has a 3 assists and a goal. Her sister, Emma Tyrrell, with her 27th goal of the season.
Yeah, U of L will call a timeout right here. Undoubtedly, Scott Teeter's got a lot to say so far about how the way this game's going.
So what do you, if you're Scott Teeter, what do you tell them? What's the most important? Because there's a lot of things so far in the first 5.5 minutes that have gone wrong for this team. What's the most important thing to do?
Let's triage these out. Number 1, stop the bleed. That's going to be stop them from scoring more goals. You have got to play more aggressively in the midfield. You've got to play more aggressively off of the passes that are missed, because you are going to miss passes. No one is perfect. You're going to drop passes. You're going to do that. You have to do your best to not do it, of course, but then when you do, get back and play defense immediately. The U of L team here has got to get more aggressive on all points of this field. I mean, you have to figure out how to stop them from scoring more. We can't even get to the point where we're talking about, okay, what can U of L do to capitalize offensively? Right. Because you can't even stop them from getting the ball, from Syracuse from getting the ball.
And on the other side of things, in the first 5.5 minutes, look, we saw the number 1 team in the country when North Carolina was ranked number 1. This team, North Carolina, was sensational. This team is on another level for the first 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, this Syracuse team is really clicking, and I want to give them their flowers. They deserve it. However, the team here that we're seeing, the U of L team, completely different too. They're coming out flat. They've come out like they're already anticipating a loss. There was a ton of energy at the beginning of that UNC game from the Cards that we saw. Just a lot of excitement. They were getting after the ball. The passes were connecting. Everything was clicking for the Cards. We're not seeing that here so far today.
Kayla Traynor in her second year at Syracuse. She is 25-6 as the head coach. Syracuse took over the number 1 spot in this week's women's lacrosse poll. The second time in history the Orange have been ranked number 1 in the coaches poll, the first time since 2014, and they've won 10 straight to start this season. But again, this is a tough stretch for them. They're coming off of a win earlier in the week against Stony Brook, 16-11. They take on Louisville. Then they're going to take on. They're going to go home to play Cornell and Virginia this coming week. So a really tough stretch for this number 1 team as they come up with another draw control. And again, the third draw control today. They're for Katie Goodall. Got a shot up before I could get my statement out.
I know, right?
It's just such a fast offense,
Syracuse,
and they're so quick.
They don't care about the shot clock. They don't care if there's 2 seconds off the shot clock, if there's 20 seconds off the shot clock. They don't care. They're going to shoot when they feel like it, and it's working out for them so far. We've seen a lot of teams since the shot clock was implemented taking a lot more time, kind of playing a more relaxed offense until the opportunity is there. Syracuse is not one of those teams. And another drop right there by the Cards.
Louisville coming up with it, but the Cardinals then give it right back, and they just can't continue to do that if you're the Cardinals. Emma Tyrrell going for her 4th goal, and she's wide on that one.
Syracuse is showing really impressive pressure on those passes. That's why, in part, because U of L is not taking care of it.
There's another goal for Syracuse. Make it 5 for the Orange. Emma Ward with that one. Her first score of the game here today.
It was a beautiful goal. The pass was there for her. It was perfect. Sarah Dash just couldn't get around to cover up on that spot right there. It was high and left. She just couldn't get back.
Meaghan Tyrrell with the assist. That's 4 for her.
I feel like you're going to say that a couple of times here today,
I think we're probably going to. Emma Ward. She is one of their big 4. That's her 17th goal. She has 33 assists on the year. Now, get this. We've talked about the Tyrrell sisters a little bit, okay? Because they've already had 4 assists and 4 of their 5 goals between the 2 of them. But if you throw Emma Ward and Megan Carney in there, the 4 players that the fearsome foursome for this Syracuse Orange team, they have 104 goals, 73 assists, and 177 points. Coming into this game, we're already now with 5 more goals, so make that 109 goals, make that 78 assists. It's insane, the
It's
numbers.
incredible. It really is incredible what this team is doing so far this season, and the numbers that they're putting up is just so impressive. They're so high scoring. They are incredibly offensive.
Foul there on Nicole Peroni, going for the draw control, a little physical. As Syracuse has it again, there's Emma Moord with it. Syracuse has 5 goals on 7 shots. Sorry, 9 shots.
They're going to settle it down here just a little bit, see if they can set something up. Something I'm really impressed with, too, from the Syracuse team is their communication, offensively and defensively.
There's a shot that was tipped, and it went in. Maddy Baxter. That is when you know it's your day right there, because normally Sarah Desch makes that save, and that ball just tips and goes right into the goal.
It tips right off. It's such a hard feeling to have. It's going to be mental here right now for the Cards. They're going to have to, like we said, they're going to have to stop the bleed. Looks like Sarah Desch is kind of hanging her head a little bit. She's going to have to do a deep breath and kind of relax and shake it off if she's going to want to stay. U of L is not afraid to pull a goalie, and it looks like you can see right here over on the sidelines where what we can see Jay Pleck already pulling out that goal, standing in it. She looks like she's going to start warming up.
Yeah, I think she is definitely going to start warming up over there. And it's at some point, it's just so tough mentally when you're in there.
Yes, you can only take so much before you just have to make the pull, and it has at that point almost nothing even to do with the actual skill of the goalie. It's just how do you defend against the Syracuse team? You can't just take shot after shot after shot after shot. The defense is going to have to turn it up. They've got to do more to help her out.
So Maddy Baxter with that goal, her 11th goal of the season. Six nothing here. We're 7 minutes to go here in the first period. Not the start that Scott Teeter wanted.
No, not
and
at all.
It's hard to overcome mentally when you get behind so early into the game.
Now here's what Louisville doesn't want to do. They do obviously want to play aggressive. They don't want to start fouling inside the 8 like that, because Syracuse is not a team that's going to miss those shots. There's a big chance that they'll pass it and get rid of it just because the score is already 6-0, but you don't want to give them those opportunities to just take free position shots.
Tessa Kirian, she shoots over the net there as Syracuse does keep possession. Here's the orange.
Carney looking like she's about to roll. Stripped.
That was a great defensive play by Olivia Toll there for Louisville. And the Cardinals, with 4 turnovers so far, need to get it clear and get something going offensively.
They're going to have to take better care of this ball in the midfield. They cannot just chuck it up like that and cross their fingers.
Yeah, and Hannah Morris was just too far away from that. There's no way she was going to be able to get to that possession.
Not a chance. But you could see right here when we were playing that midfield game that Syracuse was playing heavy in the midfield. It's really impressive to watch.
Syracuse with it again, already up 6-0 here. Louisville outshot here so far in the first less than 10 minutes, 11-1. Carney with it. Baxter. That ball is going to be Louisville possession, so the Cards now will have to take it and try to get something going. I know we keep saying that, but at some point you've got to take a positive step on the offensive end.
You have to. I think the goal right here for the Cards is going to be to hold on to it in the midfield. Look at the way that Syracuse is setting up to play defense. Their offensive players, the Tyrrells, setting up to play in the midfield. Really impressive defensive stand there.
And Louisville does get the clear and the possession here, so get to try to work something on offense. Again, look for Nicole Peroni here. She leads them in virtually every statistical category on the offensive side of things. Peroni to Morris. Cards with an opportunity. And Morris with it. They're going to say, did not see what that was. Did you, Haley?
It looked like it was a shooting space violation against Hannah Morris, so she's going to come up with a shot of opportunity right here. She's going to take the shot. Beautiful.
And Morris with the shot and the goal. So Louisville on the board for the first time, and it's Hannah Morris with 4:34 left.
It's a really great shot there by Hannah Morris. We've talked about her power and her ability, her shot placement all season long. When she gets a hash like that, she's almost always going to score off of it. It was a really beautiful goal. She went nice and low. Goalie just couldn't get there in time.
Hannah Morris with her 15th goal of the season pulls the Cards within 6-1. And again, the Cards, positive step.
A very positive step for the Cards. They're going to have to take the momentum now, and they're going to have to ride the wave all throughout this game, right? You've got to keep remembering, hey, look, we can score on them. We did it once. Now you just got to keep doing it.
We were getting close to the point where the Louisville's slowest start, their first goal against North Carolina, came with 3:17 left. And that get one a little faster here. Hannah Morris with her 123rd career goal. And there's another answer for Syracuse. And that was zipped in there by Sierra Cockrell. She has a assist and now a goal.
It was a really impressive shot there by Sierra Cockrell. She was pretty far out, and she really just found that opportunity. The angle was not great. She got it right in there. We'll see right now Louisville's going to switch out their goalies. Jay Pleck's going to come in for Sarah Adesh. Probably the right call at this point in the game, and I would not be surprised if they switch off again in the second half.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen the last probably of Sarah Adesh today. And she's getting some hugs from her teammates over there. It's just a tough position to be in. They're so fast. They're so they execute so well. And it's not just she's the one back there that's giving up the goals, but it's not just her. And I know Scott Teeter will be the first to say it's the entire defense and everything that they've done so far.
It really is. And I think it was the right call to pull her out because you don't need to leave her in there and just let her confidence get crushed in that kind of a situation.
Cards with the draw. Peroni to Morris. So Louisville scored with 4:34 left here in the first period. 12 seconds later, Syracuse answered.
They need to clear out a lane right now. Good look right there. But the defense here from Syracuse is really impressive. I know we haven't gotten to see a lot of them so far, but they are really impressive. They are very physical. They have great communication. No flat feet in the defense here for the Orange.
Morris with the shot. Louisville regains the possession. Ryan Atkins goes and has to get that one. And Peroni, you can tell she is marked by this Orange defense.
Yeah, they're going to have to fight for every opportunity here today.
Peroni to Morris. Catalano. Shot clock with 15 seconds left here on the shot clock.
10 seconds now. They're going to have to look for something.
Morris again, and shot.
She piped it.
Yes, that ball hit off the pipe at the top. And Cockrell gets the ground ball, so Syracuse comes away with it.
It's a tough feeling there as a shooter to hit pipe.
Well, that's a tough feeling for Louisville as an offense because they did a much better job there. Just that Syracuse defense would not allow anything.
Syracuse quickly gets it back to the other side of the field. Their connections on their passing are just beautiful.
Syracuse with a 7-1 lead here. 2 minutes, just a little over 2 minutes left in the first period. Looking to get more for Syracuse. Here's Ward.
Really nice lane there created by Syracuse. They're cutting in and out. But I can tell they're getting ready to set something up right here for a shot there on that right side of the field.
Meaghan Tyrrell. Baxter. Nice there job from Jay Pleck. New goalie for Louisville on this possession.
They'll reset here.
Turnover for Syracuse, Louisville possession. So better job defensively.
Much better job defensively there by the Cards. They got to keep the pressure up.
That shot by Baxter, the save for Pleck. So Pleck comes in and gets her first save. Sarah Desch played the first 10.5 minutes of this period. Scott Teeter then replaced her.
All right, so the Cards have gotten down here, Jody. We can see they're kind of slowed down. They're setting up. Looks like the shot clocks are off now. We've got less than a minute left in the first quarter.
Louisville's offense looking to try to get Nicole Peroni loose, and they just can't do it.
No. The Syracuse defense is so impressive. It's truly like a...
All right, so Hannah Morris.
Not
a little different, I was saying, different angle here.
Yeah, not a great angle, not a great shooting angle at all.
Hannah Morris has Louisville's only
she's
goal.
She's still going to shoot it left, though. Oh, just a little
right.
wide.
15 seconds left here. Louisville trying to get something else, get at least another shot attempt. 10 seconds left. Oh, that was a shot
really
from
nice
Louisville.
Look.
Kylie Dobson, and that ball just missed, and that's going to be it for the first quarter here as Syracuse is up 7-1 here in the first quarter. Just to recap it was the Tyrrell show. Emma Tyrrell with 3 goals, Meaghan Tyrrell with a goal, Maddy Baxter and Sierra Cockrell also with a goal apiece. And it was more of anything, it was Syracuse just coming out and really attacking and being so aggressive offensively.
Offensively and defensively. They had super impressive on those few opportunities that Louisville was down offensively. Syracuse really said, no, it's not going to be that easy. You're not just going to be able to march it in here. Their defense is really fun to watch. Almost more fun, I'd say, than their offense. But their offense does just click so well together. The passing is crisp. It's concise. They are doing everything that they are supposed to be doing offensively to create those opportunities. And you can really tell that they are a multi-talented team. They are great inside. They're great rolling. They're great setting up the plays. They can just march it down. I mean, this Syracuse team, they are really impressive.
They're averaging 30.7 shots per game.
Wow.
They had 13 there in the first period here this afternoon. And while we've talked a lot about offensively, obviously they're up 7-1. Let's talk a little defensively, because Delaney Schweitzer is the ACC Defensive Player of the Week for the second straight week. She's second in the nation in save percentage, second in the nation in goals against average at 7.52, and ninth in the nation in ground balls per game at 3.45. The senior is a veteran, and it's just, I mean, how impressive are those numbers?
Those numbers are insane to me. I was looking through, like you said, second straight week in a row. She's the ACC Defensive Player in the Week. Ninth in ground balls in the nation is shocking to me. When I read that, I audibly gasped out loud. I could not believe it. She's really fun to watch in the goal, too. She's very communicative. She has a full grasp on her defense down there. They are very structured. They are very sound.
She's played, this is her 27th game. So, again, veteran in goal where she's played a lot. She had a season high and a career high 15 saves against Virginia Tech. and 4 times she has had 6 ground balls in a game.
I mean, she's such a presence. We've talked about, with Jay Pluck and Sarah Adesh, they are a great presence on the field. They are both a little more agile than the typical goalie. But with Delaney Schweitzer, I mean, she is huge. She's tall. She is very tall. She has quite the presence there in the goal. She has a very good grasp on the angles, how to take up as most space as possible.
We're getting ready to start the second period here. Again, Syracuse with the 7-1 lead here at the University of Louisville Lacrosse Stadium. A windy, but nice afternoon. It's the temperature's fine. The sun is out.
Yeah, it's a good lacrosse day.
A little different than it was this time yesterday when it was pouring down rain.
Oh, my gosh. Yesterday was a torrential downpour on and off all day long.
Here's the draw control for the second. Hannah Morris. And Hannah Morris is... Hannah Morris with the draw. And some contact there.
There's some hefty collision there by both players. They both got laid out.
Yeah, she took a big shot, and looks like she's going to stay in here. She's up, and it'll be Louisville possession. So Hannah Morris, the grad senior from Murillo, Ontario, one of the leaders of this program. So Louisville with possession here to start the second period.
They'll want to take their time here and really see if they can set something out and work it out. This Syracuse team does not strike me as one that's going to be caught off their toes. You're really going to have to work for every single shot opportunity here.
And Nicole Peroni had Louisville's first shot that was saved by Schweitzer early in the period, but nothing else for Nicole there in the first period. And that's what Louisville needs to do, is get her going.
Her and Hannah Morris both, we're going to need to see them. Free position, but it'll be wide out there on that hash. It's not a great hash to have shooting-wise. She'll probably look to get rid of it here pretty quickly.
Allegra Catalano. Catalano with it. She does not shoot. Peroni to Morris. Natoli with it to Atkins. Cards have not looked. There's a shot there from.
Something tells me that Delaney Schweitzer is not going to be a bounce shot goalie. She's not going to be a goalie that you can get in with those bounce shots. You're really going to have to put some oomph behind it.
Yeah, that was a nice save there from Delaney Schweitzer on the shot. Turnover on the clear there as Louisville gets possession back. Nicole Peroni comes up with it. Peroni, the leader for the Louisville Cardinals in 7 different categories: points, goals, shots, shots on goal, free position goals, and ground balls. And today she's been quiet so far with just 1 shot.
Oh.
And there is a turnover from the Cards, and that's just an unforced turnover.
No, you could see that Peroni there was looking for Nakazawa there. She was looking for Kokoro Nakazawa, and Nakazawa turned her back and ran just as Peroni got that pass off to her, so just really unfortunate miscommunication there.
7th turnover from Louisville here today, and quickly, here come the Orange. And a quick goal. Cockrell with the assist.
A really nice
and Olivia
feed there.
Adamson with the goal.
Really nice feed from Cockrell all the way up to Adamson there. They just connected really nicely. They had the opportunity. The defense was just not there and set up for it.
So Cockrell today with a goal and 2 assists now as she's gotten involved here. It's now 8-1 Syracuse as Olivia Adamson scores her 14th goal of the season. That's the 5th assist for Cockrell, the 2nd of the day. Syracuse with 13 players who have scored a goal, 8 players who have 10 or more points coming into this game. That we talked about the big four, but they also not only have a foursome that has almost 200 points in 10 game or in 11 games now, but they also have depth, and that is maybe even more important.
It's just such an impressively deep team, to be completely honest. Just watching the way that everyone is firing on cylinders. It's not one or two or three or even the 4 players that are really connecting, that are really doing well. I mean, it is every single person on this field here today.
And how about that? Olivia Adamson gets the goal, and you know what? She wins the draw control, and she's off. She's going to take a little break for a minute, you know? Let somebody else get a goal. Query with it as the Orange already up 8-1.
They do a really great job of setting up lanes. Syracuse does, of creating those opportunities and clearing out.
And there's a turnover. Louisville coming up with it. Sydney Kirchenheiter, but
big check
the Orange
by
come up
Syracuse
with
there. You have got to take care of your stick in this midfield. Syracuse is not going to let you just trot down the field. It's not going to happen.
The Orange with it now as they lead 8-1.
Syracuse's bench is so deep that they can play that aggressive midfield defense. They can use their energy and get rid of it and wild it out. I mean, look at the sideline there. They've got players over there that probably have 10 goals that are taking some time out. They're just hanging out.
We're here in Louisville as the Syracuse Orange, the number 1 team in the country, off to a quick start here, 8-1. So is it Emma Tyrrell? Yes, Emma Tyrrell with a shot here.
It's not a great hash if she's a righty, for a right-handed shooter. It's not a great opportunity. She might shoot left or she might just get rid of it. They've still got 51 seconds on the shot clock, so I could see it going either way there.
They're 0 for 1 in free position shots today, Syracuse. Emma Ward with it. Jay Pleck with the save there as Meaghan Tyrrell. So big for Louisville. Big defensive stand.
Very, very critical defensive stand there. I think Louisville needs to remind themselves that looks like Sarah Adesh is back in.
Yeah, Sarah Adesh is back in there. Sorry, I said they had Jay Pleck in
there.
I missed the
switch too. They must have switched her at the end of the quarter.
And the wind is howling, as you can see, with the jerseys. And
definitely not my favorite weather to play in. It makes the passing really difficult.
I was going to say, it's the longer passes where you can see they just kind of float a little more today.
You have to adjust to it. It's really difficult, but you have to remind yourself at all times that the wind is going to be a factor in today's game.
Well, and I will say this, from what we've seen so far, Louisville has made some longer passes as Atkins, the save there from Schweitzer. Ryan Atkins with a nice shot and a good save by Delaney Schweitzer.
You're really going to have to work for it here today offensively. The Cards are really going to have to put their best foot forward. They're really going to have to set up and create opportunity every time offensively if they're going to capitalize.
And, Haley, we were talking about the win, and when you see what Syracuse has done offensively, different from what Louisville, they're shorter passes, they're crisp, and they're not getting – it doesn't look like they're floating.
No. The way that Syracuse passes is a lot more powerful. It's a lot more oomph behind each one of those passes, and that just comes with skill, and that comes with playing with each other for a long time and having the ability to kind of turn it up a little bit. And we just haven't really seen – I've noticed a couple of times with the Cards, but it feels almost nitpicky for me to bring it up. But a lot of their passes are more lobby. They're a lot more soft, and that's not a team that's going to work against Syracuse here today.
Emma Tyrrell with another free position shot here. The attempt, will she shoot it?
Yeah, it's not a great, again, like just the last time, not a great place to shoot there. She could take it in and switch hands, go lefty, or she could just get rid of it.
She took it in. And that one was blocked by Adesh, and the Cards come away with it.
It's just not a great angle.
So Sarah Adesh with her second save. So since she took a little break in there in the first period, come back in, she's made 2 saves. Peroni with it, Louisville with possession.
I'd like to see the Cards take some time here to really set something up, to clear something out. We've seen it work a lot for them in the past couple of games where they take the time to really clear out lanes and create opportunity. I don't think what they need to be doing right here is doing a ton of passing, because then that happens right there. Every time the Cards are passing offensively, it's when they're getting rid of it. They need to get the ball safely into Nicole Peroni or Hannah Morris's hands, then create the opportunity for one of them to bring it in and shoot.
Sierra Cockrell comes away with it, and they come down the field, and Meaghan Tyrrell. Another assist from Sierra Cockrell. Meaghan Tyrrell with the goal.
It was a good-looking goal. They had the opportunity, and they took it. I mean, that's, pretty simple. It seems reductive, but that's what it is. They had a great opportunity. The defense was not there. The defense was not set up or ready to go, and she just capitalized on that.
Cockrell with her 3rd assist already here. She has a goal and 3 assists. And, again, she's the one that came up with the ground ball on the opposite end and just took off, and the speed that she showed right there to break away from the entire Louisville defense and get open and a great pass.
I'm really impressed so far. I know we're still pretty early on in the second quarter here, but I'm really impressed with the tank on each one of these Syracuse players, right? They don't care. They'll go coast to coast. They've got speed. It reminds me of the old adage, like, we might not be the best team, but we're going to be the most conditioned team, and that's what I'm seeing so far from the Syracuse team, is that they seem to just not run out of energy. They don't slow down. They don't hit the brakes, nothing.
Cockrell comes away with it, and they're going to get a yellow card on Hannah Morris. Yeah, I think she thought she had the draw, and a little bit of frustration that comes out right there. You're down 9-1. You thought you had that one, and she's going to sit out for a little bit.
Yeah, I've been there. I can relate. I can relate. No judgment here. Doesn't look like anyone got hurt, so I feel like I can say that.
Syracuse with it. And they're up a player with a big opportunity here to extend the lead to 10-1.
I mean, 70 seconds still on the shot clock. They're going to take their time here and see if they can work something up. I hate to say they might already be in time burning, but they might already be in time burning here.
Adamson, Ward, and a goal there for Adamson, her second. And Emma Ward with the assist, and as you said it was just an Emma Ward great pass from behind to the right side of the goal, and Adamson just cutting right down the middle of the Louisville defense.
I feel like the Syracuse team is able to connect on passes everywhere. Like, it does not matter where you throw that ball. Whoever you're throwing it to is going to come up with it. They're going to catch it. They're going to make it work for them. It's really, really fun to watch.
So now second goal for Adamson. And is she going to come back? Yep, she's going to come back in and do the draw control.
What an impressive player. Multi-talented.
Adamson trying to win another draw control here. And Syracuse wins that. Emma Tyrrell with it. And here's the orange again. Shot there and a nice save for Sarah Desch. Her 3rd save of the day. Good job for Louisville.
It was a nice stop. I was impressed by it.
Look, it's 10-1, but the second period has been better for Louisville defensively.
Absolutely.
It was 7-1 after one period, 3-0 here, 10-1 with 6:40 left in the half.
So Syracuse is playing really nice zone defense. I think it's working really, really well for them. They're playing kind of like a zone hybrid. They're moving a little bit, but not too far outside of. It's really fun to watch. It's really impressive.
Louisville trying to move it. Peroni with it. And Peroni has just not had any room to do anything today.
No, they've done a really good job of setting her all the way down, of just knocking her all the way down. Kind of like we saw early in the season what teams were doing against Hannah Morris.
And it is Nicole Peroni with the attempt here. A free position attempt from Nicole Peroni. And a goal for the Cards. So Nicole Peroni has been shut out until now. And she does score a goal, second for Louisville. And for Peroni, that is her 26th goal of the season. She has 6 hat tricks.
I mean, there's no time like the present to make it 7, right?
And 5 straight hat tricks. So she has the opportunity to continue that now. Again, she just hasn't had any. She had the very first, if you go back to the very first, it was the second or third possession Louisville had. Actually, the first possession Louisville had offensively, the second or third possession of the game. And she just did not have, she didn't have anything other than that one shot, as that's her 30th straight game with a goal.
Both the goals for the Cards today have been off of free position
shots, have been.
Right? So they're really, yes, I don't want to take away from Louisville's ability to score, but they're really off of Syracuse mistakes, right? So we're seeing that if Syracuse is forced to make those mistakes, Louisville can capitalize on it. I'd just like to see the Cards capitalize or attempt to capitalize off of just setting a play up or, having good passing on offense.
Callie Bishop there for Louisville in to do the draw control. Nicole Peroni came up with it, but Bishop keeping that ball alive, enabling Louisville to get possession. (10-2) here. If the Cards can get another one here, you take a step to get back.
Hey, they're doing a little bit of what we talked about, right? You got to stop the bleed first and foremost. They've done a much better job here in this second quarter of stopping Syracuse from scoring. So now we got to go to step number 2, and that's put some points up on the board.
There's Natoli with it, looking for Peroni. She's in the middle. Morris, and that was just a lot of traffic. It's a great idea.
Well, it's the Syracuse, the way that they're playing defense, right? They're crashing in really quickly. They're spreading out really nicely. Their zone defense is really, really impressive to watch. It takes a ton of communication to really make that zone work for you. And Syracuse is doing a phenomenal job.
And that goes to show you right there, pinpoint accuracy too, because there was just a little too much traffic in there.
Yep, exactly.
The Cards down 10-2 here with 4.5 minutes left in the first half. Syracuse with it. And a goal for Syracuse again. Savannah Schweitzer with that one. So the 5th goal scorer of the day, and how about that? Their leading goal scorer doesn't have a goal today in Meaghan Carney, but they have 5 with goals.
It's really impressive. It's been really fun to watch them play. Savannah Schweitzer, you might be thinking to yourself, that name sounds familiar. Well, guess who her twin is? Delaney Schweitzer, the goalie. They're twins. You got these twins on the team. Of course, she's a great shooter. She's got a great goalie as a sister. I'm sure they work together all the time. Every family holiday, every family event, they're in the backyard. Mom and Dad are saying, put those sticks down and get in here. No, they're in the backyard shooting.
We're going to have a review here, I believe. They're going to review this play. 11-2 right now.
Sounds like what they're talking about now is seeing if there was a crease violation there or if there was a possible charge as well there. So there's a couple of things they're looking at. They're going to roll the tape back, though, and everyone will just have to kind of take a couple of minutes here and take a deep breath.
So as it stands right now, Savannah Schweitzer with her 6th goal of the season. A senior from Hatfield, Pennsylvania, as you said, the twin. Goalkeeper Delaney. The officials under the tent checking out the replay.
So right now, let's talk about what we think the Cards need to do to really get back in this game, because we're seeing Syracuse continue to take that lead and stretch it out. So I think defensively, U of L is going to have to reassess what they're doing right now. The man-to-man is not exactly working. The communication is just not there for it. I don't know if this is the time we've seen them play, or I've seen them play a couple of times in practice. They will kind of do a hybrid, like a man-to-man zone hybrid. I think now would be the time to think about that.
So we have a decision. They're telling the two coaches.
Welcome back to Louisville, Kentucky, where the top-ranked Syracuse Orange.
The number 1 ranked Orange 11-2 over Louisville right now. Will that goal stand? Scott Teeter did not look happy when he.
Yeah, he looks very frustrated right now.
She was very close to the crease when she shot that.
Well, both coaches are talking about it with the referees on the complete opposite side of the field. And there doesn't seem to be any body language to distinguish what they're calling.
So it looks like it's going to stand. The goal will stand. So it is a goal for Savannah Schweitzer, her 6th goal of the season. With 4:16 left, it's 11-2.
Scott Teeter's still having words with the officials about that decision.
Rolled into the goal, and that one lobbed in.
Yeah, Coach Teeter not happy.
She was very close to the crease. 4 minutes left to play in the first half.
As he is expressing his displeasure for that call. She was pretty close to the crease there. I could not tell from our angle. We're at it's the farthest point from where we are.
Exactly.
In the press box where we could be.
I don't think I've ever seen a lacrosse coach ejected from a game before, but there's no time like the present to see if we can figure that out.
All right, Callie Bishop for Louisville and Olivia Adamson for Syracuse. Adamson with 2 draw controls.
I think the wind has gotten even stronger. Look at everyone's jerseys just whipping. You can tell, especially when you look at the pants on the sideline. They are just.
Adamson with 2 goals and 2 draw controls.
Olivia Adamson, who's been playing like one of the best as of late. Ball goes up, whistle blows, a violation there, and
Syracuse with it.
over on offense. So no success there from Bishop. Jenny Markey.
She's got a full lane right there in the midfield to just do whatever she pleases.
Syracuse with it up 11-2, under 4 minutes here. The Orange, 11 goals on 15 shots on goal.
Natalie Smith takes right, set the string for Olivia Adamson. It's the weave.
Here they come again. Syracuse looking.
Flicks up to Carney again.
Meaghan Carney has been shut out so far as goals. She has 40 on the season.
Forced her streaking kick back to Sierra Cockrell.
Cockrell's had a good day so far. That ball down on the ground, but Syracuse comes up with it.
Meaghan Tyrrell attacking from the right wing.
Haley still over 30 seconds left as Louisville comes away with it.
That was a really good opportunity and look by Syracuse. I was just waiting for one of those players to decide to shoot it, and I am impressed that Louisville was able to kind of force that turnover there and stay with it. Hopefully they can translate that to an offensive opportunity.
Maggie Foster, the senior from right here in Louisville, coming up with the turnover there. As the Cards.
Works across into the offensive third. So the clear is successful for Louisville, who trails 11-2 with 2.5
Syracuse up 11-2 here at the University of Louisville Lacrosse Stadium. A windy afternoon here in the Ville.
Start the offensive set for Louisville, who again playing pretty slow, working around the perimeter. Can't find a way to break into the orange.
Nicole
You can hear
Peroni.
that communication from Syracuse's defense is so impressive.
Another pass inside, shot by Nakazawa.
Shot by Nakazawa is just wide left.
The guy Nakazawa fired and was
That was
left with the
Nagai.
goal. Louisville retains possession.
Morris.
She's trying to force something through, but she needs to settle down just a little bit.
Yeah, and Syracuse just defensively. And that's going to be a hold there from Katie Goodell.
It'll be a free position shot for the Cards. Allegra's going to probably look to get rid of that pretty quickly.
Catalano with it.
Whistle blows and just kicks back.
Back to Peroni. And Peroni's shot is high.
The Syracuse defense looks like there's 80 players on the
Well,
field.
and
I
that,
don't know
that
if you've
was,
noticed that,
she
but
took that shot, and there were two arms that just extended right
out
to
of
where she
nowhere.
was.
I mean, it's so impressive to watch the way that Syracuse plays defense, that they're able to communicate out there. It's really fun to watch, unless you're a Louisville fan.
Cards got a couple shots. There's a turnover, and Peroni with it. And that is a turnover by Peroni.
Peroni's going to take a card there for
Natalie
a trip.
Smith with the turnover, and Peroni just runs right over to the chair and
She knows
takes a seat.
exactly what she did.
Yeah, a little frustration there.
Sure.
So Louisville picked up a big steal. Nicole Peroni had a list the goal, but Syracuse staying aggressive on the run.
Looks like the officials are having a little bit of communication about it.
Yeah, just aggressive on there. Actually, not sure what they're talking about because it was a pretty easy call.
Yeah.
88. Reset the shot clock. 88. And now we have 88 with the card.
Maybe trying to figure out exactly what to call it there. Looks like they're going to call it a push. Scott Teeter once again with some words for the officials.
1:16 left here in the first half. Jody Demling and Haley Minogue here at the U of L Lacrosse Stadium. The #1 team in the country, the Syracuse Orange, looking to extend their winning streak to start this season to 11-0. This is the 14th meeting between these two schools. Last year, by the way, Haley, last year it was 8-7 at the half. Syracuse was leading up in Syracuse, and they end up winning the game 23-13. They lead the overall series 12-1. Louisville's one win back in 2017 here in the Ville.
It's been really impressive gameplay so far by Syracuse, really firing on all cylinders at both ends of the field. Nothing really clouding anything other than the other. You know, it's not like, oh, the defense has been carrying this game. It's not that the offense has been carrying this game.
There's a shot saved by Adesh, but on the rebound, they get the possession back, and it was a Tyrrell, right?
Yeah, it was that ability to switch it from the shot on the one side of the goal right to the other side. Adesh had fully committed to making that save on the other side. The rebound, it just didn't work out.
Yeah, a couple of shots there, a couple of opportunities, and Sarah Adesh doing a nice job, but just could not get the rebound, so to speak, and that'll take us to the halftime. And that was Emma Tyrrell. It's 12-2 here at the half. Emma Tyrrell with 4 goals. Meaghan Tyrrell with 2 goals and 4 assists. Olivia Adamson with 2 goals. And Sierra Cockrell with a goal and 3 assists. 12-2, Syracuse, the #1 team in the country, leading the Louisville Cardinals. And Haley, before we take a quick break here, what at halftime are you saying to your team if you're Scott Teeter?
I don't know. It's tough. I think that Syracuse, if nothing else, is pointing out all of the little faults in Louisville's gameplay, offensively and defensively. I think offensively, you've got to do a better job of capitalizing on the opportunities. You've got to set up plays. You've got to make them work. Defensively, you have got to toughen up. Syracuse is really making it their game offensively. It's not feeling like 50-50. It feels like by the time they get to to their opportunities to shoot, that Louisville has already said, well, they're going to score right here. So mentally, you've got to get your head up. You've got to wrap yourself around this and really find a way to make it work for you offensively and defensively. Louisville has also got to toughen up and get a little bit stronger here. This is an aggressive Syracuse team that we're seeing. It's really impressive gameplay. It's fun to watch, but Louisville has got to strengthen up a little bit if they're going to keep this score from getting completely out of hand.
And Syracuse with 7 players already with a goal here today. What if you're Kayla Trainer? What are you telling your team?
Man, I don't know. I think that Syracuse is probably a classy team. They're not going to just completely run away with it, or maybe they will. Who knows? But I could see them totally still forcing this game, forcing the shots, forcing all that stuff. Maybe there might be a three pass rule. I've played games before where coach says, all right, you got to pass it at least 3 times before you shoot. Little things like that they might implement, but for the most part, I think that she's probably just going to stretch her bench. She's going to see if she can maybe find a few other players on the team that have that goal scoring opportunity that maybe just haven't gotten the playing time yet this year.
7 have scored a goal. Emma Tyrrell with 4 goals. Meaghan Tyrrell with 2 goals and 4 assists. Number 1 Syracuse leads Louisville 12-2 here at the half. We're going to step aside for a couple of minutes, and we'll be back with the second half coverage again. Louisville trailing here 12-2 at the half. Welcome back here to the U of L Lacrosse Stadium. Jody Demling and Haley Minogue here as we get ready to begin the second half. Syracuse, the number 1 team in the country, looking to win their 11th straight game to begin this season, up 12-2 at the half. And Haley, we talked about what to do and for both teams at the half, what you talk about and that kind of thing. For Louisville, it starts right here in the middle with the draw control, and Louisville struggled with that in the first half. They need to do something to win a few of these.
Yeah, they're going to have to do a much better job of getting some draw control and creating those offensive opportunities, because Syracuse is not going to mess up for them to come up with it, right? Those are few and far between, those opportunities on the 50-50 balls off of anywhere other than the draw. So they really need to come up with it right here.
Jay Pleck in goal for Louisville here to begin the second half. Syracuse still with Delaney Schweitzer in goal. They have played a couple of other goalies in a couple of games. Kimber Hauer has played two games, about 25 minutes. Tate Paulson, 1 game where she played 9 minutes. So we'll see if they switch. Foul there on Hannah Morris as Syracuse comes away with it. That was a Emma Ward with it. We do, by the way, that is a good point. You and I were talking about it at half. It is a running clock here in the second half.
Yeah, that 10-point goal differential will make sure the clock keeps running as the game continues here today. But it'll stop, of course, if the Cards can get on the board and close it to 9.
Meaghan Tyrrell. There's a goal to start off right there. Natalie Smith.
She was ready and waiting, right? She knew exactly what she was going to do as soon as she got that pass to her. Really nice goal there.
Smith puts them up 13-2. Her 8th goal of the year and the 8th player of the day to score a goal for Syracuse. And again, they have had 8 players score, and their leading goal scorer, has not scored. Megan Carney has 40 on the year. She has an assist, but does not have. Actually, she doesn't even have an assist. She has 2 shots, but no points.
I'd be very surprised if that doesn't change before the end of this game.
(13-2). And Jay Pleck in for Louisville, and you talked about it there. Another draw control win for Syracuse.
See, this is exactly the opportunity right there. Did you see that ball got 2 bounces and not a U of L player within 10 yards of it? Louisville's got to play more aggressive in that midfield. That was an opportunity right there, but no one even went for it.
Van Diver with it. Here's Cockrell, who has had a great game here this afternoon. Sierra Cockrell with a goal and 3 assists. This is a Syracuse team. We've talked a lot about their offense and their and what they can do on the offensive end of things. And, when you look at this, I mean, you're talking about a first half where you had 23 shots in the first half, 17 shots on goal. It is over their pace of 30.7 shots per game. Natalie Smith there with a shot wide. Syracuse still with it. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Adamson went behind the back there. You can do that when you're up 13-2, right?
Yeah, I was going to say that was a silly shot there.
But the shot clock was winding down under
Sure.
10 seconds, so she just took the opportunity.
Yeah, and hopefully Louisville will march it back now and say, don't do that anymore.
Hazawa with the shot there, and Louisville comes up empty again. Delaney Schweitzer right there for the save. For Schweitzer, her 5th save of the afternoon. Another ball on the ground there. Turnover there from Syracuse. Louisville with it. Cardinals with it coming down, and some different faces in for both teams here in the second half. I think it's an opportunity. You do get some players in to get some experience. You still are Louisville's trying to score goals. You're trying to do some things. But again, Nicole Peroni not out there right now, unless she's hiding.
Which very well could be possible.
Hannah Morris is still out there.
The Syracuse defense is just so aggressive and so in your face. They've got so much speed and agility.
Catalano to Lifson. Natoli.
Louisville is trying to find the opportunity. They're trying to find the cut or the lane or something, but it is just not presenting.
Any crease in there, and they just can't find it. And that shot is wide left.
She needed 2 or 3 more steps to get a little bit further in front of the goalie right there before taking that shot.
They stopped the clock here. Oh, they were trying to see if they were reset, and they did reset the shot clock. So Syracuse, it's not allowed a goal here, but Louisville with opportunity again. Hannah Morris is going to get a free position opportunity here. Louisville's 2 for 2 on these today. 2 for 3, but both goals coming off of free position opportunities.
One of those Hannah Morris's goal. She's going to look to shoot right here.
Save there by Schweitzer. What a save. And that was a nice shot from Hannah Morris.
It was a very powerful shot.
And a great save there. And here comes Syracuse.
Marching down the midfield.
Sprinting down the midfield.
Sprinting down the midfield.
There's no marching
No.
with this offense. It is a well-oiled machine. 11 games into this season. Again, number 1 in the nation for the second time in school history, trying to win their 11th straight to start the season.
They've still got 50 seconds here on the shot clock. It looks like they're trying to set up some sort of play. You can see all of the Syracuse players have cleared out. They've created that lane right there. Now they're spreading out really quick, making the feeds.
And there is another goal.
Defense nowhere in sight on that goal opportunity. One of those Syracuse players just shuffled right there in front of the crease. She was wide open with that shot on goal.
Maddy Baxter makes it 14-2, her second goal of the afternoon, and it is now 14-2 as Syracuse pours it on here. The number one team in the country, coming off of a what I would say is or was probably a tougher game because of the opponent, Stony Brook, earlier in the week, number 6 in the country. 16-11. They beat number 15 Duke 16-10. Number 9 Loyola Maryland 9-7, and number 12 Notre Dame 15-7. Those are the last 4 games they've played against 4 ranked teams. They're up 14-2 here today. And you might ask about this team and what they've got coming up against Cornell, Virginia, and Clemson. The next 3 after this game here at Louisville. Virginia is ranked number 12 in the country. And then I mentioned this as it's 14-2, and we see another draw control go to Virginia. Oh, maybe not. Louisville is going to – nobody's going to pick up this one, are they?
Someone will get it eventually. All right, it'll be Syracuse.
It will be Syracuse. But I mentioned this because that's their next 3 games, and then that game on April 15th. Can you imagine North Carolina hosting this Syracuse team? This Syracuse team could be 14-0 going into that one.
It'll be a really interesting game to watch, with both those teams being such powerhouses and being so expert at all the things they do so well.
As impressed as I was with North Carolina, this team seems they're both veterans. They both have a lot of experience, but this team seems to have a little more firepower.
I think so too. I'm a little interested to see how the two will match up. Sometimes you get that slow and steady that'll just, North Carolina being the slow and steady there that we saw, that'll just chip away at a scrap team like Syracuse. But the way that this Syracuse team is playing, just the speed and agility.
There's another goal. Natalie Smith, 15-2, Syracuse. Natalie Smith with her second. So now that is 4 players with multiple goals for Syracuse. Emma Tyrrell with 4. Meaghan Tyrrell has 2. Olivia Adamson has 2. And Natalie Smith has 2. Again, Megan Carney, their leading goal scorer, with coming into this game with 40 goals on the season, does not have a goal or an assist.
That's very surprising to me, and I have to wonder if the coach said, give it to anyone but Megan, if it was one of those days where she anticipated this happening.
And she's been out there, and she's been in the mix a lot. Natalie Smith coming up with that one. Wow, this Syracuse. Natalie didn't play a ton there in the first half. Or she wasn't in the mix a ton in the first half, but she has been a difference maker here in this third period. She is a junior from Washington, New York. Shooting space violation there. You're going to get a free position shot for
Meaghan Tyrrell will probably
It is,
look.
I think, yeah, it's Meaghan Tyrrell, right?
She'll probably, yeah, it looks like number 18. She'll probably look to get rid of that. It's not a great angle to have, or she'll run it in. I think she's done that on a few of her others.
Tyrell with it to Natalie Smith.
Big sack right there by Kokoro Nakazawa.
We are going to get a card on Natalie Smith.
Excuse me, I said Kokoro. It was Nagai Nakazawa.
Natalie Smith with the yellow card, so the Cards will be up a player here for a couple of minutes.
Now would be the time to take advantage of that opportunity here with the Cards to get another couple of goals if they could, but with Smith being an offensive player, it might not make much of a difference defensively.
Chance for Louisville. They have not scored. They have 1 goal in the first period, 1 goal in the second period. Have not scored here in the third period. It is a running clock. A 10-point differential here. So the clock runs. Louisville looking. Hannah Morris denied there, but be a foul. Hannah Morris with another opportunity here.
And a nice hash, too.
She scored the first shot of the day and scores right there. So with 2:50 left in the third period, Louisville does get on the board in the third quarter. It's 15-3 as Hannah Morris gets her second goal of the afternoon. Yeah, you got to keep fighting if you're Louisville. You know
really
you're behind.
do.
You know it's going to be it's an uphill battle, and you're not going to win this game. But you want to basically say, hey, it's 0-0. Let's see what we can do.
Exactly, and you want to still find those opportunities. If nothing else, playing against this kind of a defense will make your team better and better and better. So you want to keep looking for those opportunities. Looks like Syracuse will switch out their goalkeepers. They'll put in Kimber Howard now to play for the Orange.
So I thought, Kimber Howard in for the Orange here in goal. I thought when I was looking at these stats, Haley, I thought 30.7 shots a game for Syracuse. That's going to be hard to go over. 16.3 goals per game. That's tough to go over. 9.8 assists. They're gonna go over every single one of these today.
Yeah. I mean, look at that pass. Do you see it? Just a one-handed grab up. It looks like no one could have gotten that. Nope, they'll make it happen.
Their next shot attempt will be number 30 of the game.
Coming in the third quarter, that's insane.
1:20 left here in the third period. 15-3. The number 1 team in the country, Syracuse Orange. 8 players have scored. 4 have multiple goals. It's been all Syracuse here from the opening draw control. There's a turnover.
Syracuse won't even go after it. They'll just let it go.
So the Cards with it. So Delaney Schweitzer is not in the game. The Kimber Howard is in the game. She has played in 2 games, just right under 25 minutes. She's given up 4 goals and has 1 save on the season.
Louisville's not doing a great job of taking care of the ball here today.
No, they're not.
Lots of drop passes, lots of turnovers.
So Kimber Howard, this redshirt senior from Oakley, Utah.
Jay Pleck right there.
Good job by Jay Pleck. I think they called a
Crease violation.
crease violation. They did.
That was Meaghan Carney's attempt to get on the board today. Jay Pleck said nope.
So 15-3. So Syracuse outscores Louisville 3-1 here in the third period. Again, a running clock, so not as many opportunities. But all right, let's just talk about this this team here for a minute. And when you look at what Syracuse has been able to do in the first 3 periods, again, 30 shots, 21 shots on goal. They're 13 of 14 in clears. I mean, everything you look at is really unbelievable what they've done. The only thing they haven't done, they're 0 for 3 in free position goals.
That is very surprising to me, too, because those free position goals normally are easy points. I think the Syracuse team has shown that they really are firing on all cylinders. They're hitting a hot spot in their season. Even after the strength of their schedule so far, it's really impressive to see them come out here today and still look like they have very well rested team.
My point was going to be, when you look at what their schedule has done,
yeah,
they've played 4 ranked opponents in a row, and then you come here to Louisville and they don't miss a beat. They
No.
they play maybe their one of their better overall games. I mean, their high point of the season is 20 against Maryland back the second game of the year. I'm sorry, 22 against Albany on March 1st. So they're still a ways from that. But 15-3. The least that's been scored against them is 4 in a 16-4 win at Pittsburgh. But this has been total domination.
It really has. I mean, on all over the field. I can't even say both ends of the field because they've dominated the midfield too. I mean, they have just fired on all cylinders this entire game here today. They've really shown why they're the number one team in the country, hands down. I think they came out from the very beginning just all the way on 100. Louisville did not meet them there, and Syracuse has just continued that the entire afternoon here today in Louisville, Kentucky.
They're in a stretch of 4 games in 11 days for them. And for the Louisville Cardinals, I think you just have to, again, erase, you lost 7-1 in the first period, you lost 5-1 in the second period, and you lost 3-1 in the third period. You have to try to win this period to get something, find a way to get something positive moving forward into this next week where you're at Ohio State on Tuesday and at Clemson on Saturday.
It's a tough schedule coming up here for the Cards. You can see Maddie McKee is back to take the draw here this afternoon. The draw control is going to be critical.
Ball goes up, and it's actually not a fourth person. It's back to Maddie McKee, who is taking draws at the start of the game. The ball swings all the way to the string line on Syracuse's
Syracuse with it.
So the Cardinals take over as McKee successful in her first trip back to the draw.
McKee back in there for the first time in the second half.
Now let's say the game is 0-0 right now. That's what the Cards need to be thinking. It's 0-0. They don't have to win the game. It would be an uphill battle. It would be probably the most fantastic lacrosse game, and Disney would make movies about it if they were to come back and win the game right now. But they need to pretend that the score is 0-0. They need to have that mentality and see if they can put some numbers here on the board.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what Scott Teeter said. Hey, look, let's just go out and see what we can do. Do something like we were talking about. Get something positive.
Try something new. Try something you've been afraid to try that you think could work for you. Just make it work.
I mean, you have 15 minutes. And again, literally 15 minutes because the clock won't stop running. You have 15 minutes to continue.
Louisville retains the ball for now, but a quick miss there. Siegel at the apex of the 12-meter fan under double team coverage.
Louisville with it. Shot clock down to 20. Abby Skull in there for Louisville. The guy. And that will be Izzy Holmes will get the free position opportunity.
It's a great hash to have there.
Izzy Holmes, the senior from Rockford, Michigan, with it. The opportunity here, and it is saved by Hauer. So Kimber Hauer gets the first save of the day for her, second save of the season for Kimber.
And we got timeout, Teeter.
And Scott Teeter's going to take a timeout.
Nagai with a great stand there in the midfield. She did not just let that player run away from her. She did put in the effort. She did check the stick. She came up with it. It worked out for her. So I would take that as a little victory if I were a U of L player.
Timeout here for Scott Teeter in his 6-year here at Louisville, 32-55, 177 and 175 in his 21st year overall. And look, this has been a brutal schedule for that. I mean, for Louisville, there's no two ways about it. When you look at what they have done this season, they started out the year 4-2. They were 4-2, and now this being the fourth straight loss that they will suffer. 3 of those to top 5 teams. 2 of them at the time, team was ranked number 1.
I mean, it's really hard to wrap your head around that, right? I mean, I'm sure that it doesn't feel great as a Cardinal here today to be looking at another loss, but look at the teams and the caliber of the team that you've played. It's really hard to kind of bounce back from that mentality-wise. So hopefully here in the next couple of weeks, the Cards can get some good victories under their belt. They'll make them feel a little bit better, because I feel like they are playing right now from a position of coming out here and having the mentality of, well, we lost the last couple, so why would we win this one? And that's not great, obviously, for any kind of team to have that mentality. I just felt like the Cards kind of came out flat today.
Louisville at Ohio State on Tuesday afternoon, and then in the month of April at Clemson and at Virginia Tech, the first 2 Saturdays in the month. And then that game that was postponed from earlier in the year, Cincinnati here in Louisville on Wednesday, April 12th. That Saturday against Duke, and then the following Thursday at Notre Dame to wrap up the season. So it doesn't get any easier, really, for them. It's just maybe not the number one team in the country three of the last 4 games.
Yeah, not a
2 of the last 3 games.
Not a great situation there, but it is what it is. They're almost through it here, and then it'll be time to do a little bit of recovery.
All right, we're back here, 15-3. No goals here so far in the first 3 minutes of the 4th period. We do have a running clock. Louisville with possession. Izzy Cycle. Nakazawa. Louisville looking. 58 seconds left here on the shot clock in this possession. Louisville not really moving around, just kind of moving the ball around.
Yeah, they need to clear out. Ooh.
So Cockrell with the penalty. Cycle with it. She throws it around. Liz Kennedy in there for the Cards.
The Cards need to set something up. They need to either send some cuts or create a lane.
Abby Scully looked like she was trying to shoot, but a foul there. Abby Scully. Good opportunity here for Scully.
Yeah, she looks like she's getting ready to take a shot. It'll need to be tough.
And she misses. That was actually saved. Hit by Howard there. She just got a little piece of it.
Syracuse will capitalize. They'll take it all the way down. Whoa.
That
huge
shot there wide.
Rip right there from Shiwa Power.
A sophomore with the huge rip. Holy.
I know, right?
That
Can you
was-
imagine stepping in front of that one? Eesh.
Ball just missed. Again, Jay Pleck in goal for Louisville here in the 4th quarter. Syracuse, Meaghan Carney with it. She does not have a goal today. 40 on the season. Defensive stand there from Louisville.
Really nice defense there by the Cards. They really sent it the whole way. Now, I have to say, now if you had played like that the whole game.
Ava Coyle with the caused turnover. And the Cardinals turn it over again. And now those are the things, look, giving up goals and doing some things, but those are the things right there that are going to make Scott Teeter really upset when he watches this game, is just the difference, the little things,
Yeah.
the turnovers, the unforced errors.
Saw Teeter put his hand on his head there for a minute, kind of in a unfortunate way.
You're playing against the number one team in the country. You can't make the unforced errors that they have today.
Absolutely not. You have to really bring your very best game when you are playing against the number one team in the country, because they are going to make those mistakes so few and far between. And if you are making them frequently, it's going to make them, of course, they're a great team, but it's going to make them look even better.
Tyrrell with it. Save there from Jay Pleck. And Syracuse was still a lot of their regulars in there. They have a lot of movement on their sidelines and a lot of stretching and running. So I would imagine we're going to see a mass sub here soon.
Looks like they might be warming up another goalie on the sidelines, too.
Pass in there. Izzy Holmes with the opportunity, but she turns it over, and Syracuse comes up with it.
We've seen a lot of turnovers here from the Cards off of checks, more than I think we've seen any other game. Syracuse is not the team to let you hang your stick. They're not going to let you have that opportunity to do that. A lot of teams will kind of let it go, right? It's you know, one of those things that's like, do I really want to expend the energy to take a check right here? Syracuse is the team that's going to say, yeah, and I'm going to do it every time, and that's why we're number one in the country.
Yeah, and you and I were talking about it when we were watching them warm up. You just watch this team warm up, and they just look different.
Yes.
This Syracuse team. They just look like the number one team in the country in every facet of the game today.
They really do. And you know something else that I've noticed in those warm-ups? So they were having fun.
Yeah.
Everything was fun for them here today. They're not good in the sense that, like, they're really straight-faced and they're all business. They're good and having fun with it.
No score here, though, in the fourth period for either team. A couple of shots there. Jay Pleck now up to 4 saves on the afternoon. Harley Harnischfeger with the push there. Syracuse. Yeah, that is not a good hash, but she scores off of it. So the goal for Syracuse. Shira Perrer. And for
her first goal.
Her first goal.
That's why we're seeing everyone on the field now. Looks like they're going to call a timeout, too, to celebrate.
Yeah, Perrer with her in her third goal, third game of the season with her first goal as they take a timeout. 16-3 here, the 9th player to score for Syracuse this afternoon, and this is a team that we've talked about the numbers and the stats. They just they're impressive. And when you look at today, 35 shots, 24 shots on goal, 14 draw controls, 0 for 3 in free position shots, and 15 of 17 on clears.
I mean, they're just dominant. That's really the only way to say it, right? I mean, we can sit here and talk about it and do a whole game about it, but they're just dominant. They really are. Everything that they've done out there today with intention. They have been aggressive. They do not look tired. It's incredible.
So we'll see. 16-3, the number one team in the country. We have right at just under 7 minutes left here in the contest, and they are warming up another goalkeeper. I would imagine we will see Tate Paulson. Paulson has played in a game so far this year. Junior from Wilton, Connecticut. But it's not her right now, so if they do make that change, which, again, they're warming up, would imagine they would. Seven left here in the game. Maddie McKee, Olivia Adamson, back in the middle for another draw control.
I'd love to see Maddie McKee come up with a couple more of draw controls here before this game wraps up.
14-7 right now. New faces for Syracuse out there. Freshman Ryan Banks, Jordan Blasio, numbers I see.
There we go. Draw
Louisville
control.
with the draw control, and Haley Reek. Haley Reek with it.
Plenty of fresh faces in for the
On
Cards.
both sides.
Yeah, for both sides now at this point.
The last 6 minutes.
It was a good look there, but the pass was just not quite precise enough. Cards will hold on to it, but it looks like it'll be a foul against the Cards there.
Not sure what happened, but something did, and Syracuse with the possession. 5:30 left here at the U of L Lacrosse Stadium.
There were some good touches there in the midfield by the Cards.
So 9 players have scored for Syracuse. 4 players have 2 or more goals. Add all that up, 16-3. It's a lot of points.
Make
And
it
there's
17.
another one. Caroline Redder, a sophomore. Her first goal. (17-3), Syracuse now 10 goal scorers on the afternoon.
It looks like Syracuse will switch their goalies out now.
Yep, so Tate Paulson will come in. She's been warming up. So third goalie of the day.
She's got a couple of minutes, I think.
Yeah, about 9. She played 9 minutes in one game earlier in the season.
Why do I think that? Well, I mean, you look at Hopkins, you look at Loyola, there's still some good programs down there. I would say it's no escaping the University of Long Island, but
Maddie McKee trying to win one here.
goal of the year candidate right there late in this game under 4 minutes.
It'll be a push. Louisville possession. So Louisville gets the draw.
Another violation by the Orange, so Louisville takes it into the offensive third, trying to get that
New goalkeeper Tate Paulson in.
time is waiting. 3.5 minutes to play.
Louisville looking to set something up. They need to send some cutters here into the middle right there. Look for the opportunity. There's a good
Louisville
look.
looking for a shot and a goal there. Izzy Cycle with the goal.
She had a great opportunity there. She took fast advantage of it. Great look for the sophomore there from Dublin, Ohio. Dublin Jerome graduate.
Izzy Cycle with her 6th goal of the season. .230 left here, 17-4.
So Louisville will now at least not be the lowest scoring. They might tie for the lowest score against, but they will not be the lowest score against.
Yes, and the largest margin of victory in this series is 14. So 19-5 a couple of years ago. Lauren Call with that one. And so it'll be a turnover or a push there. So Louisville gets it back. Louisville now has 1 goal in each period as well, so not shut out in any of the quarters. I know, I'm searching for little things.
I know. I hear ya. We've got 1:30 left here.
The number 1 team in the country, the Syracuse Orange, are going to score their 11th straight victory.
And a well-earned one, too. The game was just phenomenal by them today. They did everything right. They connected on all their passes, created opportunities, made big defensive stands. I mean, they were a really impressive team to watch.
They'll be 4-0 on the road, and this will be their longest, the first time they've started 11-0 in program history.
Back inside, and some defense on the Orange results in a whistle.
Izzy Cycle going to get an opportunity here.
This might come close to closing out the game here.
Yep, less than 50 seconds left here. Cycle gets another goal. So Izzy Cycle gets the final 2 goals here against Tate Paulson, and that's going to do it. Syracuse 17-5. The last 30 seconds will roll off, and Haley, this is an impressive team.
Little victories. Let's look for some of our little victories. With 5 points, that means that Louisville is not the lowest scoring team against Syracuse. That's a big point here, right?
And it's 2-2 in the fourth period.
Yeah, there you go.
But for Syracuse, they're so impressive.
They're
so
such an impressive team. It's been really fun to watch them here today. They've just showed exactly why they are number 1. I think that UNC-Syracuse matchup is going to be impressive, and I very much see Syracuse going far into the offseason.
Number 1 Syracuse has 10 players score. They win 17-5. Emma Tyrrell with 4 goals. How about Meaghan Tyrrell? 2 goals and 5 assists. Number 1 Syracuse 17, Louisville 5. For Haley Minogue, I'm Jody Demling. We'll see you next time from the U of L Lacrosse Stadium.